Last year, I went to San Sebastian in Spain and I had the most incredible cheesecake. So I've come back and I'm trying to replicate it. Mine's going to be a little bit different because the original cheesecake didn't have a base. Mine, I'm going to add the base because I like that textural difference. I'm also going to give mine a twist by adding some ginger, and the cheese mixture is not only going to have cream cheese, but creme fraiche. It is spectacular. This is a fantastic showstopper dessert. Now, these are ginger nut biscuits. You get them from all of your supermarkets, and you need about 250 grams. So just one packet of the bickies can go straight into a food processor. And to accentuate that lovely ginger flavour, we need some fresh ginger. And I've just peeled off some of the skin, and I'll just peel off some more. The best way to do this, I've done it a few times, but I'll do it again because I think it's a great way to show you how to not waste the ginger, and so easy to do with a spoon. And I'll grate that directly into the food processor. Now I'm just going to blend this until it becomes a fine crumb, and then I'll add some melted butter. Okay, I've got a nice crumb, so now I need to add the butter and just mix it until it becomes a wet sand-like consistency. Okay, that looks fantastic, just like wet sand. So all I'm going to do now is line a 20 centimetre springform tin, just like this. So on the base, and just press it in so it's nice and firm. Okay, so the base is ready to go. Now for the filling. 1 kilo of cream cheese. I've brought this cream cheese out of the fridge an hour ago. You want this to be quite soft. I've also cleaned out my bowl, and I'm wanting to mix this with some caster sugar. Now I'm going to mix this quite well so we don't have any lumps. And that's why you also need to bring it out of the fridge much earlier, because you don't want the lumps. And once it's really smooth, I'll add 1 egg at a time. I'll need 5 eggs in total for this recipe. Okay, let's have a look. Ooh, this is lovely and creamy. That's what we're looking for. But to make it extra creamy, we're now going to add the creme fraiche. Creme fraiche has a beautiful tangy flavour to it, so it's going to work really nicely with the ginger. So I need 1.5 cartons, so 300 millilitres of creme fraiche. And then the second one, creme fraiche is readily available now in supermarkets, so try to get your hands on it because it really does make a difference to the taste of this particular cheesecake. And if you have a little leftover, just like I do, it has a great shelf life in the fridge. It's fantastic with smoked salmon in the morning. And now for some vanilla. 2 vanilla beans for this. I'll just take them out of its little test tube, and you can see how fresh these vanillas are. See how soft? You'll know that there's lots of goodness inside it. So just with a sharp knife, I'll cut that in half. And the second one, I'm adding quite a lot of vanilla to this because I really want to taste it throughout that cream mixture. So there's one, and the second one. And don't throw away these beans because there's still so much flavour in them. You can dry them out in the oven or just pop them into some caster sugar. It makes fantastic vanilla sugar. Okay, that's the vanilla in. Now all we need to do is just blitz this up one more time, and then we're ready to start baking. All right, this is combined nicely. Oh, see all those little speckles of vanilla in there? That's what we're looking for. And now, this is my favourite part, pouring this delicious cream mixture into the base. Look at that. Now, you may have noticed that I've lined my springform tin with some baking paper, and it has quite a high collar. You want this because it will rise a little, so you want to make sure that it doesn't overflow. That is perfect. Now just give it a quick tap, And do place your springform tin on a tray just like this, just in case there are any spillages. Now this goes into the oven to bake for about 45 minutes at 180 degrees. Then I'm going to turn it down to 150 degrees and it's going to cook for a further 40 minutes. Okay, the cake is completely cooked now and I've allowed it to cool in the oven. The reason I do this is because I don't want any cracks on the surface. And now it needs to go into the fridge for a couple of hours to chill completely. Finally, the cheesecake is ready to serve. And you can see how dark it is in the center. That's how it should be. In fact, in San Sebastian, the cheesecakes that they make there are much darker than this. Now for the big reveal, I'm gonna take the collar off, just gently tease that away. And then I'm gonna take this piece of baking paper away. Oh, pretty happy with that. Carefully take it away. And then I do have some baking paper on the bottom too, so I'm just going to take the base of the springform tin off. There you go. It's easier to maneuver the cheesecake when it's cold, so that's another reason why I like to chill it. Okay, before I serve it, I just want to prepare my strawberries. So just a handful of strawberries that I'm just going to season with some sugar. So just with a knife, I'm just going to cut them into rounds for something a little different. And if you're making this for the adults, what I like to do sometimes is add a hint of brandy or Cointreau, another great flavour that's going to go with the ginger and the creme fraiche in our cheesecake. Okay, I'll pop them into a bowl and we'll just sprinkle over some sugar, and then I like to get my hands in there and just give it a mix, and this will just make them really shiny and they're ready to go. Now for the cake, I've got some hot water here and my knife, and I'm just warming it up to make it easier to slice, and then I'm going to take a nice generous chunk of this cheesecake out. And I'll just get under there. Have a look at that. The perfect cheesecake. So happy with it. It's super creamy in the center, and that's because we've added that creme fraiche, and we've got a nice thin base of that ginger nut bicky. Pop that onto a plate. Place the strawberries on top and just allow them to cascade down. You know what? There are many varieties of cheesecakes out there, but I'm gonna say it. This cheesecake really tops it for me. The combination of ginger and the creme fraiche and the vanilla beans is just spectacular. I'm gonna go for my favorite part, which is that center bit, which is just still a little wobbly. Some strawberry. Creme fraiche cheesecake. That is one to definitely add to your repertoire.